Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 2 of the British and Irish Esports Championship here, Season 1. And for round number 2, we are going to Abu Dhabi. Yes, that is correct. We go to the Middle East. Is it the Middle East? I think it's the Middle East. Is it the Middle East? I don't know. But I'm terrible with geography, guys. You should all know this by now. But we are here for Abu Dhabi, as unfortunately Andy Campbell has already left the session. That is not what you'd like to see straight away. But, you know, I'm just quickly getting everything up that I need to get up. You know, all the information and everything that I like to require. And, of course, one thing that we do like to require, what happened last week. And of course what did happen last week was Forza Brandon, the Irishman, taking victory in Mexico with the fastest lap of the race as well. And in the second place it was the Scotsman of Tam, and in third was the Welshman of Colin R. Mason. So an all Celtic podium, and that is things you absolutely love to see. You do love to see the Celts up there on the top spot. Only 9 finishers in Mexico last time out. There was obviously Forza Brendan, Tam and Colin on the podium, but then we had Tom in 4th, Harry B in 5th, Andy Campbell in 6th, Mays in 7th, Hooky in 8th, and I Am Silas in 9th. So they're the only ones that have points on the board. And in terms of the constructors, there's Aston Martin leading the way on 36 points, Red Bull Racing in 2nd on 18, 15 points for the Williams racing team, Mercedes on 14 points, 12 points for McLaren, and 4th AlphaTauri, and just the 2 points there for the Alpines. So, as we go into tonight's race, looking at the drivers that we do have here, we have QVR, Ben JS in that AlphaTauri. Then, of course, we got Dylan McGivern in the Alpine. As we go on to it's Jamie in the Scuderia Ferrari, Andy Campbell in the Mercedes, I Am Silas in the Alpine, Mays in the other Mercedes, then the McLaren pairing of Yaham and XA Tom, Harry Collier in the Haas F1 racing team. Then we've got Forza Brendan, who's looking to pick up another race win after last time out. Can he do it again in the Aston Martin? Time will tell. Then we got Hooky in the other AlphaTauri, the Alfa Romeo of RJW underscore videos there. As we got the Williams pairing of Leslie the Twig and ESW Colin R. Mason. Then we got Stacks United in the Haas car and Harry B in the other Aston Martin. So I'm going to go on board with a guy who I believe is going to be the first one to start a lap. I believe it is Harry, and it is going to be Harry, so let's go on board with him as he takes us on a lap here of Abu Dhabi. As we break down my end, as we go through turns 2 and turns 3, little kink at turn 4, now into the hairpin on turn 5, made very different this season, providing a lot of overtaking opportunities there into that hairpin. Now GRS wide open, another great opportunity for some overtakes as we come down into turn 6 and 7 into the chicane, just before the 100-meter. Second gear there for Harry as we go through the chicane. A good exit here, and we will have a lovely run into the swooping left-hander now. No longer the awkward chicane here anymore. It's going to provide some good side-by-side action as we go into the final sector. And Jamie there with a 24.2 setting the provisional lap time, as now we see what Harry can do in this final sector. A little bit wider, I think, on this game compared to previous games, providing a bit more leniency in terms of being able to extend as much of the track as possible, a bit more lenient. But for the final corner comes Harry, and to the line is a 26.8 as we go on board with Ben JS. And I am just quickly going to get everything, as I said, everything that I need up. That's what I need. And to the line will come Ben JS, and it's a 23.7. Good lap time there from the AlphaTauri. As Stacks, and oh my god, there's Forza Brendan, last week's race winner on a 23.7, just under a 10th quicker than Ben JS. So will we see this week a fight now for the top spot? A little bit of traffic there for Tom, that wouldn't have been ideal for him. Had to thread his way through the traffic there, parting the Red Sea, so to speak, but he is looking pretty decent in the first sector. He's currently down in 12th. He's going to be looking to get himself up the order. Remember guys, only the top 10 get points in this race. It is the same point system as you get in real life F1. So we're going to see who is going to rise through the field, who's going to take the maximum points home here tonight. Right now, Forza Brendan out on top in qualifying. 12.5 minutes to go in the session. Little bit of slipstream there that Tom was picking up down into the swooping left-hander. Very easy to lose the back end there. You saw him have a little bit of a wiggle on the exit, but kept it all intact. Now into the hotel section. So big snap of oversteer there, very well handled, and he's done it again, and he handles it again, but this time he's going to come through the final corner. Is he going to keep it in check this time around? Yes, he is. To the line, it's going to be at 25.7. He definitely lost a lot of time there, just from those snaps. I believe Andy Campbell and Yaham are the next two, but Yaham there takes a brand new kind of line for the final corner, and with that definitely doesn't get a good lap time there. I think he realised that he should have got an invalidated lap time there. On board now with Harry B as he is coming through turns 14 into the final two corners of 15 and 16. Yes guys, I did have to get a track map up. I forgot how many corners they took out of this track, and oh my god, that is Harry B out of the section, but he crosses the line before he actually crashes out, and it's a 24.3. Absolutely. That's one way to cross the line to set a lap time right there, as we got Dylan who's on a lap, we got Colin who's on a lap. We'll go on board with Dylan who's a little bit further along, and we'll come back to the Welshman in the latter stages of his lap time. But Dylan now on the DRS straight, running down in towards the turn 6, turn 7 hit chicane. Second gear there for the Alpine, and he's looking for good traction out of it, and he has got some pretty good traction out of it. DRS open once again as we run towards turn 9. .2 in the middle sector, as we are now into the final sector where everything can be won or lost here. It's very smooth, very tidy here from Dylan as we go through turns 15 now into the final corner. Around, and it's going to be a 24.1, puts him up into P3. Now let's jump on board with Colin who's coming for the final corner now, and he's getting a little bit out of shape coming across the line at 24.4. He definitely lost a fair few attempts there. Could have possibly been up there with Dylan's time, but time will tell if he can get himself in that kind of position again, as we got a cyclist who's just starting a lap. But we'll go on board with RJW, who I believe is actually on an out lap. It says he's on a flying lap, but I believe he's on an out lap. So we need to find someone who is on a flying lap. Dylan's not on a flying lap. Jamie, I don't believe, is on a flying lap. Colin definitely not on a flying lap. Silas, he's not on a flying lap, he's backed out. So we'll go back on board with RJW. As I'm looking over the chat now to read everyone's messages, we got Maze chucking the racing flag up, and it is time to race. It is race day after all. We got Leslie coming in with the Sue, and that is terrible. Terrible. I can't believe you did that. Can't believe you did that. Heartbreak to all the Manchester United fans out there, but RJW is a 10th and a half up in the middle sector. Saying good evening Leslie, how are you doing? As we got Ivan bringing light to the fact that that could be a little bit controversial given the recent statements from the Cristiano Ronaldo interview in real life, which heartbreaking if you're a United fan. RJW to the line, goes up to P3 with a 23.8, a good lap there from the Alfa Romeo. As Ivan says, good evening, and I thought I have seen everything. I have thought that too, but Forza, Brendan improving with a 23.5. Looking to put down a statement. Meanwhile, in the back you got Ben JS, who's nearly a 10th, well, he's just over a 10th and a half up in the middle sector, as we got Jason in the chat saying, hello world. Hello Jason, how are you doing today? Hopefully you will be enjoying the racing, as we got Ben JS going on pole position with a 23.4, just under 7 minutes to go here in this qualifying session. Ben JS and Forza Brendan, really the two guys out on top currently, as we wait to see if anyone else is going to be able to get into that mix to challenge them. Here's a bit of a split in the pack starting to form here, as Ben JS and Forza Brendan definitely clear right now. You got RJW in a bit of a no man's land, 3 tenths behind and 3 tenths ahead of the guys around him. Then we got Dylan, Jamie, Harry Beals, unfortunately crashed out crossing the line, so he's not going to be taking any further part in this session. And Colin all very bunched up together nicely. Then you got a nice little gap back to this man, Leslie the Twig, in 9th place on a 25 flat, 6 tenths to gain. Can he gain it? I don't know. As we got Tam in the chat saying, Yarhamta bin it. That is horrible. How could you say that? It's not that disgraceful behaviour from you, Tam. We do not condone that. Yarham up in 3rd right now with a 23.7. A good lap there from the McLaren driver. Disgraceful from you, Tam. Disgraceful. Let's see now through the final couple of corners into turn 15. Now into 16, 3rd gear. Keeps the car in check, but is not an improvement there, so that's going to open things up for the guys behind. Hooky doesn't appear to be going any quicker. Andy Campbell in behind. Needs to gain about 8 tenths. Well, needs to gain about 7.5 tenths to jump ahead of Leslie, but he's going to bail out and come into the pits. Harry definitely could be one for big improvements, and same with Stacks United here. Both times very unrepresentative right now of the Haas cars, and Harry is 2 times that just in sector 1 alone, so definitely got some time out there. As Tam saying, that was you being nice. That is not you being nice, Tam. That is disgraceful behaviour from you. But you did give me an all Celtic podium last time out, so I will allow it. Harry 4 tenths up now as we go into the final sector. Very tentative through turn 13 there, definitely would have cost him a bit of time. But this should be a little bit more representative for Harry as he crosses the line now. It's going to be in the 25, so 26.5, so not quite there yet. Stacks United, I think, is having trouble sticking on the... keeping on track and within the track limits. He does have Jamie right behind him, who's on a 24 flat. Go on board with this man, the Welshman, the man who got a podium last time out, Colin R. Mason. And we're going to see if he can get into the 23 23. So I mean, we do have Jamie up ahead, so we'll flick back and forth between the pair of them, as both of them are going to be looking for time to gain around here to crack into the 23s. But I don't think Jamie is on a lap. No, he is not. So we'll go back on board with Colin R. Mason as we come down into the chicane of turn 6 and turn 7. Gonna have a little bit of traffic up ahead, but Mercedes gets out the way straight away, and I believe that was Andy Campbell getting out of the way there, as I think Mays is just coming out of the pits now. Colin half a tenth up. He needs more time, and is he going to gain it in this final sector? I think he personally can, because remember, he did get a little bit wayward in a couple of these corners in the final sector. Definitely a few tenths there to gain. Now into the penultimate corner of turn 15. Final corner, needs to get good traction on exit here to the line. It's going to be a 24 flat. He does get himself ahead of Jamie, so he cuts himself up into 6th place. But Colin does find time. I don't think it's quite enough yet though, and I don't think he's got time to go for another run unless he plans on doing 2 runs on that set of soft tyres. But you got RJW there almost turning in very early and putting it in the wall, but now he's going to get his lap underway and get us going here. Apologies for that if you did hear my phone go off, and that is my fault. I should have put it on silent. Let me just quickly see who's trying to annoy me during this commentary. Let's find out. Let's find out live on stream who is trying to call Ivor Bryn Mike here while he's in the middle of the comms. Let's find out. And of course it is the brother. Disgraceful behaviour. Disgraceful. RJW though, half a tenth up in the middle sector. As it comes through turns number 12, now into 13 and through 14. There's a McLaren up ahead, and you also hope that McLaren gets out the way, but I think that McLaren's about to start a lap to the line, and it's a 2/10 improvement there from RJW, and he goes up into P3. Fantastic stuff. And now where's Tom up ahead of him, who's just going to get himself underway for a fresh lap, as I just saw Hooky there improve up on his time. He's now sitting in 10th place, as you've got Mays to the line. Mays now goes up into 10th for the 24.8. Leslie not on a lap. I'm Silas here, has to back out with his lap. Andy Campbell there, 8 tenths down in the first sector, not looking good for him. Dylan a 10th and a bit up in the first, in the middle sector, so he's going to be looking to maybe jump ahead of Tom here. How much can he gain through the final couple of corners? Has he done enough to get himself up there? He's done enough to get himself P5. We got Ben JS now to the line, the man on provisional pole. Can he find time? Can he improve? And he does here with a 23.3. We're on board with Forza Brendan, who is a 10th down on this middle sector time. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead of the McLaren. I believe that is Yaham. And oh my god, he's lost it as Yaham just crossed the line. Not an improvement there from Yaham. And that's an invalidation there from Tom. So I think that is the qualifying session over and done with here. Ben JS takes pole position here with a 23.3. 2 tenths clear of Forza Brendan, the man who took victory last time out in Mexico. So just going to wait for everyone to go through and retire in the pits. I do quickly have to call back my brother, but before I do, I'll give you a rundown of the order one more time. It is Ben JS who takes pole position ahead of Forza Brendan by 2/10 there. They are on the front row. RJW in third, Yaham in fourth, Dylan in fifth, Tom in sixth, Colin R. Mason in seventh, Jamie in eighth, Harry B in ninth, and then Mays rounding up the top 10. Then outside the top 10 we have Hooky, Leslie the Twig, I am Silas, Andy Campbell, Harry Collier, and Stacks United. And guys, I will be on mute for just a moment while I quickly call back my brother. I do apologise for this, and hopefully we'll have a cracking start to the race. Oh, Mamo. Mam's at home. Oh no, Mam. And how about that, ladies and gentlemen? We are back before the race even gets underway. You love to see it, you really do. As we go to those 5 red lights to get us underway here in Abu Dhabi. Lights are out and away we go. And it looks like a very good start there from Ben JS, who gets a clean run into turn 1. You got Yaham and RJW side by side through turn 1, and then behind Dylan and Tom side by side as they go through turns 2 and through turn 3. Look at Tom trying to look for a little switchback. Meanwhile, in behind you got Colin, and Andy Campbell there gets disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous location. What has gone on there? As these guys side by side going through turns number 5, everything looking good so far, as doesn't appear to be any front wing damage, as you've got Harry B and Colin there line the stern, and Dylan and Tom up ahead line the stern. Yaham and RJW line the stern 2 by 2 as they go through the chicane, and it is RJW still ahead of Yaham, Dylan ahead of Tom, and Harry B ahead of Colin R. Mason. As on board now with Tom, who is all over the back of Dylan. Is he going to have a little peek down the inside? He's gone for it, and is he going to pull it off? Dylan there with a lovely little switchback. He's going to try and hang it around the outside, maybe switch back. What's going on there? Okay, so no issues whatsoever. I thought with the ghost in then someone got absolutely sent into next year, but fortunately everyone has been able to make it through, no issues whatsoever. Ben JS still out in the lead ahead of Forza Brendan in second place. RJW on the set of the medium tyres needs to get a move on here if he wants to make those medium tyres work for him, as everyone in behind is still line the stern. Let's actually have a little look at the tyre compounds everyone has opted for. So Ben JS, Forza Brendan, Yaham, Colin R. Mason, Leslie the Twig, Hooky, and Harry Collier all opting for the white wall hard compound tyres, and everyone else on a set of the mediums. One person out this race so far, and it is Andy Campbell, who got disqualified, and I don't think he was even able to get off the line, as you see him leaving the session, and that is not what you like to see, as we've got action going on up ahead, as RJW does use his tyres to get past Forza Brendan, so now he can try and go hunting after Ben JS for that race lead. And Jamie does get through on Colin R. Mason as well, using his medium tyres to good effect. And in 9th and 10th we have the double pairing of the Williams. In 4th and 5th we have the double pairing of the McLarens here. And the McLarens of Tom is actually just dropped back. And who's that going down the order? That is I Am Silas, who is around facing the wrong way. Stacks United well down there as well. And it's not a good start for those two drivers in particular. Meanwhile, you got Mays doing his best to try and stick onto the back. Stacks United has stacked it in the wall, and that has brought out a virtual safety car here on lap 3, and RJW will be absolutely fuming with this because he was about to get DRS and launch an attack on Ben JS. As we wait for it to go green flag racing once again. And what I was about to say is that the top 10 slightly pulling away from everyone outside the top 10, as Mays was over a second back from Leslie. I think he did just about sneak into that 1 second just before the virtual safety car came out, but Leslie did with a drive-through penalty, and now that is a big mistake from the Williams man. A big mistake indeed. Harry B has just dipped outside that 1 second. He's now creeping himself back in it, and luckily for him, a little bit of a mistake there, and he's dropped back out, and that's allowing Jamie now to have a little bit of a pop. Ferrari versus Aston Martin. Jamie having a little peek down the inside, not really going for it, and now here comes Colin R. Mason moving to the inside here of turn 1. And he gets the move done, but Jamie gets the better traction, but backs out of it. Doesn't want to commit to an overtake there, as Leslie has peeled off into the pits to get his drive-through penalty served. So he will come out in 14th place, and it's going to be a long old night there for Leslie. But now we shall see who has the bigger straight line speed advantage here, and it looks like Jamie has a huge straight line speed advantage, and he's going to go down the inside on those medium tyres, but he's going to go deep, and Colin's just going to try and thread the way through. And Colin does not have DRS, Jamie does, as Ben JS and JRW side by side as they come through turns 11, 12, and it is RJW now into the lead of the race on those medium compound tyres. He needs to stretch these now, needs to get going, needs to get moving. Meanwhile, in behind, is that a McLaren? Oh no, look what you've done now, Tam. Tam put it in the chat saying Yarham to bin it. That is the worst piece of cursing I have ever seen here, as Tam has absolutely jinxed Yarham into a crash, and you hate to see it, you really do. Will Dylan have a little luck on Tom this time around? And that is I Am Silas, who's gone around on the exit of turn 1 as Jamie gets through on Colin once again. Not surprising with the DRS and straight line advantage that we saw Jamie have moments ago, and obviously with the battling between Jamie and Colin, it has opened up a big gap now between them and Harry, who is on the back of this battle, as Dylan now around the outside of Tom. Going to go on board with Harry to get a nice little view of this, as Dylan there goes for a little bit of a switchback, trying to get the better traction. He's on the outside for 11 and 12, and he's going to hang it around the outside through 13. He'll have the inside, and he's going to get ahead, but will Tom be able to come back at him through 14? No. And Dylan now up into P4. A lovely scrap, and oh my god, Tom there getting a big snap, and he's lost it, and he's around. The McLaren has gone a spinning and drops all the way down into, is that going to be P9? No, he's going to come back in P8. Wow, wow, wow. And that's Harry Collier around as well on the exit of turn 14. In the background there, you may have saw it on the minimap. Harry Collier losing the back end. Leslie coming back through the field. And is that Hooky who's lost it a bit? I think it is. Yes, he has no front wing. Hooky there losing his car as well. And you hate to see that, especially from a fellow Welshman. That is not something you like to see. That is not something you like to see at all. Meanwhile, you got Harry B on Dylan here. The battle for P4. It was between the McLaren as well of Tom, but Tom, a big snap, and he loses a ton of positions. Meanwhile, Harry B now down the inside into the sweeping left-hander of turn 9, and he's going to get that position, get that move done, but can Dylan fight back here? Is he going to have enough to fight back in his final sector? He's not going to go for it. He's probably going to sit and wait for DRS. And it looks like the medium tyres are starting to come into play for Jamie, who is now just about almost getting away from Colin R. Mason, as the gap is around about a second, and now it is over a second. And Colin will be using a little bit to get back in it, but Jamie, as you can see, has used quite a lot. He's on 30%. Colin with a 20% ERS advantage, as Harry, I think, has lost it there somewhere, and now that's brought him back into the clutches of Jamie. That could potentially save Jamie here, because Jamie doesn't really have the ERS to really defend from Colin, as long as Colin can stay within DRS. And Jamie is using absolutely everything to try and get a move, get an overtake, and it's not the way forward. He's not driving smart right now. He's throwing caution to the wall. Speaking of caution to the wall, Leslie the Twig almost in the wall there, so throwing no caution, but he definitely almost threw it in the wall, as Colin now just dropping outside that 1 second window, and it's going to be difficult for him to get back into it, but with these guys battling, it definitely could bring him back. As Dylan currently in P4, you got Harry in P5, Jamie right there now in P6, Colin just over a second away in P7, and you got Tom in P8 doing his best to close up, and on those mediums he is gaining a bit on Colin. He just needs to gain a little bit more in that final sector, I think, as Colin very good through the first corner, gets himself a chance to try and stick in this DRS here, and he is just about going to cling on to it, which is good for the Welshman. And as long as he can cling on to the back of this train, it gives him a fantastic advantage later on in this race, when he will be on the yellow wall tyres compared to these guys on the white wall. Meanwhile, you got Ben JS putting pressure on RJW now up top. The top three in a lovely little scrap now. RJW, Ben JS, Forza Brendan, who is going to come out on top here in Abu Dhabi. We are 8 laps in, as it looks like RJW are taking a bit of a scenic route. And is Ben JS going to capitalise on anything? No, he's not. He's going to stick in behind. Oh, as RJW has lost it, and that has caused contact, and Ben JS gets caught up in all that. Has he managed to get away without any wing damage? That's the big question. But RJW now dropping down the order, surely into the pits, and no, he's going to keep on going, but he has rejoined in this train now, which has just become a train for the podium. Dylan now up in the third, Harry B, Jamie, RJW and Colin R. Mason in this scrap now. Oh, it's Colin there, but he has a big snap. He was just on board with that, and fortunately able to keep it all together, as now this has got to be the opportunity Harry B has been waiting for. He's got 75% ERS to play with. Jamie and RJW definitely have been using their ERS as Harry B now cruises past Dylan up into a podium position. So as it currently stands, both Aston Martins in the podium, but Harry B goes deep and Harry B picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's going to bunch up and Dylan's going to break away here, but this gives an opportunity now for Jamie, who just doesn't have the ERS. And he'll have the outside line. He's going to try and cut back. Obviously the DRS brings Harry and Jamie closer again to Dylan. Harry now with that 3-second time penalty is definitely not going to help him in the latter stages of this race, especially if these guys around him do not pick up a time penalty themselves. Right now for Forza Brendan and Ben JS, everything is looking good right now. The big question is, did Ben JS get a bit of wing damage from the contact with RJW? That's the big question. If he did get a bit of wing, did get a little bit of contact where he got a bit of wing damage, it definitely would affect him, as Harry there looking to go around the outside. Jamie there sent one on the inside, and that's why you gotta be patient, as Jamie there a little bit too impatient, and he has paid the price here. And he has lost it and has gone for a half spin and has no ERS now to his name. And that is probably the inexperience there of Jamie coming through when comparing to these guys, as it is a yellow flag out, and that is a full course safety car. So Dylan, Harry, RJW, Jamie, Tom and Maze have been absolutely saved in this race. Forza Brendan and Ben JS, Colin R. Mason are going to be absolutely furious with this. Lap 10 of 29, we have a full course safety car. Do any of the... Yeah, oh. So I believe everyone should be coming into the pits. No, Jamie stays out. Yaham stays out as well. Mistakes were made there, I think, for Jamie and Yaham there, because Jamie could have very easily gone to the end. Now, when he pits, he's going to be a full pit stop down on these guys. So a big mistake there from the Ferrari of Jamie, and it's not something you like to see. You like to see people getting the strategy right. Jamie there really bottling it when it mattered, and now Yaham, you can see what Yaham's trying to do. He's trying to stick to his strategy, and hopefully there'll be like a virtual safety car or another safety car to save his race later in the race. But is it going to happen? I don't know. Meanwhile, Forza Brendan, Ben JS on those medium compound tyres are going to be trying to carve their way through Yaham and Jamie pretty quickly, I would think. Dylan and Colin would be a nice tasty scrap to keep an eye out for, as you got Harry and Tom who are going to be side by side. Obviously Harry with that 3-second time penalty, but I don't know who this is going to work out for, because if Forza and Ben JS don't just, if they can make quick work of Yaham and Jamie, they're gone. They're gone. They're going to be able to build a gap to the point of, by the time they come into the pits, they should have enough time to come back at these guys ahead. Obviously, we are on lap 11 of 29. It is Jamie who is out in the lead, but not in the net lead. He hasn't made a pit stop yet. Both himself and Yaham do need to make that pit stop and come into the pits. And that is unfortunate, the unfortunate situation here for those two right now. Safety car is still out and will be out for the rest of this lap. What this does do though, it does bring the likes of Hooky, Leslie and Silas back into things. RJW, it's unfortunate because he was looking so good. He was battling with Ben JS and Forza Brendan, but he lost it on the exit of turn 14. Ben JS got caught up in it, but no wing damage here for Ben JS, fortunately for him. But RJW lost a lot of time and a lot of positions in that. Lap 12 of 29. We are under the safety car here, and this should be the final lap of the safety car. Everyone on the hard compound tyre should easily get to the end from here. So Dylan, Harry, Tom, Mays, RJW, Hooky could be a bit of a stretch, but I think he should be okay to get to the end, and Silas definitely can get to the end on his fresh hards. The question is, can the medium runners cut their way through the field and get themselves enough of a gap to make it a bit spicy at the end? That's the big question. Will we get the notification? Safety car coming in. Safety car in this lap. So the man who will be setting the pace will be Jamie. So we're going to go on board. Actually, we'll go on board with Forza Brendan, because he's on those fresh mediums and he's going to be looking to make moves very quick. So we'll go on board with the Aston Martin, who did manage to jump Ben JS. Actually, no, he didn't jump Ben JS. That is my bad. I thought he jumped Ben JS, but Ben JS, of course, got caught up and dropped behind Forza Brendan in the RJW incident. But Jamie back in the park up, really back in the park up. The question is, when does he go? He's gone now and hasn't really caught anyone napping. I think Colin got caught napping. There's a big gap formed between him and Dylan, and we are back racing once again here on lap 13. Hooky into the pits. Not ideal for him, but through turns 2 and 3, Forza Brendan all over the back of Yaham, and look at the grip advantage he has. He's going to have a little look potentially down the inside. No, he's going to hold back as he goes deep to try to get a good run, but that's going to open things up for Ben JS to have a little peek. Ben does not go for it, and meanwhile, Forza Brendan using a bit of hers. Not close enough, and I don't think he's going to make this move. As right now, currently as it stands, it all remains the same. Yaham and Jamie still ahead of Brendan and Ben JS. But now, oh look at this, Forza Brendan around the outside. Is he going to be able to make this stick? He breaks a little bit earlier, tries to look for the better line out of the corner, but he can't get it done. He's stuck behind that McLaren for a few more corners, but you can see the grip advantage that Forza Brendan has on Yaham is absolutely apparent here. As out the final corner, oh, this has got to be it now. Looking down the inside of turn 1. It's not quite alongside the McLaren to really justify going for a move, so he backs out of it. But now look how close he gets to him. Underneath his wheel ring through turns 2 and 3. Oh, here we go now. He's going to look down the inside into turn number 5. He's going to be able to pull it off down the inside as Collins doing the same in behind to Dylan. And Collins now up into P5, and Forza Brendan now getting away from Yaham, and now he can try and hunt down Jamie, but Yaham's going to try and fight back. Outbreak around the outside. Is he going to be able to make this work? He's on the inside. A little bit of wheel to side pod contact there, as that's going to open things up now for Ben JS. Are we going to get free wide? Surely not. Surely not free wide. Ben JS there does well just to get himself out of that situation, but he's going to take a tighter line, and he's on the inside of Yaham, and that is going to be a fantastic opportunistic move there from Ben JS. Incredible stuff here, and oh my god, Yaham's gone. And Colin there, thankful that the ghosting system came on, and you know, good reactions there from Dylan as well, in behind Colin, to be able to spot that. Also, same with Harry B. As Yaham down the order once again, so what he did not pay off for him, as Colin now going to try to get on to the back of these guys up ahead, who could potentially get a little bit slowed down here. And Jamie's actually going to back out and get out of the way. DRS is activated here for Dylan, so this is a big opportunity for Dylan to get ahead of Colin here. He's just going to use DRS, he's not going to use his ERS. In fact, now he is going to use his ERS, and he's going to send it down the inside. Oh, a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact between the pair of them, and Colin does come out on top there, but who is going to get the DRS? It's going to be Dylan, guess it, but now Harry's in there. He's trying to force a move on the inside. Contact there. Oh my god. Dylan and Colin out of this race, and that is a full course safety car. Incredible. Dylan trying to force his way down the inside. There wasn't really the room for it. That one will definitely be going to the stewards, that I can assure you, but that has just saved Jamie, as Jamie's into the pits, and so will Lesty be into the pits. Yaham, I assume, will also be in the pits. Wow, wow, wow. As it should be yellow wall tyres going on these guys' car now, as we got support for Lesty in the chat from Jamie saying the GOAT up the twig indeed. Incredible stuff we have seen here tonight, as BenJS and Forza Brendan came back into the pits and chucked on a set of fresh medium compound tyres, so they are definitely gonna go for it right there. But wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Lap 16 of 29, everything gets bunched up once again. Harry B will be the man taking us underway on this safety car restart. Once again, Tom, who is currently in second. I am Silas in third, Mays in fourth. But you gotta think, BenJS and Forza Brendan, but the pace they've shown here tonight, they are going to be carving their way through these guys up ahead, especially with the tyre advantage. Tom and Harry could definitely be thorns in the side of BenJS and Forza Brendan, but I don't know who is going to come out on top in these battles. The longer this race goes, probably the more beneficial it becomes for Tom and Harry B, but we've seen mistakes happen, and Mays is going on a set of the Red Bull soft tyres. It's an interesting call. I am not gonna judge it whatsoever. It's a very interesting call here from Mays. But 11 drivers remain. Only one penalty here tonight, and it is for the man leading the pack at the moment in Harry B. So right now in the chat right now, because I do like to communicate with you guys, I like to interact with you guys, so in the chat right now, let me know your predictions of who is going to get the podium here. And also, let me know if you think we are going to lose any more drivers from this race. We have 11 remaining. Let me know your predictions. Do you think we're going to lose anyone else? Will all 11 drivers see the checkered flag? That is what we hope now, as the safety car is going to be in this lap. But who is your guys' podium prediction, and how many drivers do you think will see the checkered flag? Lap 17 of 29. We're about to go on to lap 18 once these guys get back underway. Harry B is going to take the safety car restart. And we shall see how Tom can react to it. And Harry has gone. Tom has reacted very well there. So has Iron Silas, but Iron Silas gets a bad run at the final corner, and he could potentially be under pressure immediately from Ben JS. And yep, immediately Ben JS gets through. Job done, thank you very much. I'll take that P3 off your hands, thank you sir. And here goes Forza Brendan saying, cheers mate, I'll have a P4 crack, why not? And that is Hooky around at the back. So Ben JS and Forza Brendan making quick work of Iron Silas now. We have Jamie and Leslie and RJW and Yaham. Yaham goes very deep there. And is that going to compromise him or anything? Oh, it's Jamie there. Guess who on Iron Silas? Of course, Iron Silas not really known for being one of the front runners, but you've got Leslie now looking around the outside. He's going to be able to put it off. I don't know. RJW, but look at this run from Leslie, and oh my god, there's Iron Silas, it gets out the way. RJW's got to be looking at this thinking, okay, these guys are getting a little bit too scrappy right now. I need to pick my opportunity, as Iron Silas here picks up a 3-second time penalty over RJW and Yaham. Probably two of the quicker drivers here, and they got a lot of traffic to kind of carve their way through, but they're getting held up massively right now from Iron Silas. Will frustration kick in? As Ben JS gets the move done on Tom and Yaham and RJW there, both sending it on Iron Silas, and they both get through, and Forza Brendan gets through on Tom as well. So Ben and Brendan both carving their way through at the same time. We've got Jamie just on the back of this. Leslie is also in the mix, and now you've got RJW and Yaham now, who are scrapping with each other and are looking for opportunities to try and close up. Yaham using everything he has to try and get past RJW, but they're still side by side, as RJW's on the inside now. And is he going to be able to hold it on the inside? Yes, he does, and he should have this position sorted for now. Of course, these guys need to not really battle with each other right now. They need to kind of close up, try to get onto the back of Leslie, because right now Harry B is the guy who's leading this train. He is on older tyres, so he is technically going to be causing a few issues, as these guys will close in, as that is Tom getting out of shape, and Jamie now is going to send it down the inside. But can Tom come back here? No, he can't. He does not have DRS. As unfortunate for Tom, and that's Harry B there, getting overtaken by both Ben and Forza Brendan. He's not going to make it difficult on his teammate. He's going to let his teammate go, and away goes Forza Brendan. And now This will be interesting to see what Harry B does with regards to Jamie. As Yaham and RJW still scrapping it out for P7, and they are just about getting into this battle now with everyone else's Hookie's retired from the race. He's obviously not exactly too happy and leaves the session as RJW concedes the position to Yaham. Meanwhile, Hookie's AI is coming out of the pits, so we hope no issues happen there. Now, Ben JS and Forza Brennan can get away from the pack. Let's see. Oh, thank God it's ghosted. I was going to say, let's see if that AI is unghosted, because we don't like to see drivers retiring and giving up in the race, but fortunately that is what's happened here for Hookie. So here's the issue with Jamie's plan right now. Jamie has the better tyres, but Jamie is using absolutely every bit of battery he has, and he's not going to be able to pull away. And as soon as these guys have DRS, they're just going to breeze right back past him. So Jamie right now is kind of shooting himself in the foot. Leslie had the same issue. Yaham and RJW were battling with each other, so you can understand why their battery is a bit depleted. They were more focused on each other than the cars up ahead. But for Jamie now, he needs to spend the next couple of laps just sitting in behind Harry, conserving his battery. That's what he needs to do. Will he do it though? That is another question. And he's going to use his battery, but look at this, Harry's not using anything, and he's going to be able to defend this as Yaham gets through on Lesty, the side by side, and yep, Yaham through. Lesty has to concede, and he has nothing now to defend from RJW, and that is Iron Silas around at the back. Is RJW going to go for a move here on Lesty? No, he's not. He's going to stick him behind for the time being. Jamie right now is being his own worst enemy. As Tom, even though Tom is a little bit further back, all he's got to do is use a little bit of ERS and he's straight back in it. That's all he needs to do. Like, even though he's got warm tyres in comparison to Jamie, a little dash of ERS and that's it. He's back within that 1 second, and that is I'm Silas around once again. RJW and Lesty have tagged, and they're around from the looks of it. Mays up into 7th place, and what's gone on there I don't know. Leslie and RJW both around, so I'm guessing contact was made. As Yaham is going to be given the right of way as Tom jumps out the way of his teammate, and now Yaham can go chasing after Jamie and Harry here. And I'm Silas retires from the session. Well, we haven't paid much attention to this battle at the top. Both of them have used all their ERS. They're on similar ERS, so the only difference right now is DRS. And Ben JS is the man who has the DRS. Harry is doing a fantastic job of keeping Jamie at bay. And what this is going to do now is going to back Jamie into Yaham. And Yaham on those medium tyres definitely should have a bit of life left in them to really put the pressure on, as I believe that was Leslie went around RJW into the pits, probably going for the fastest lap now. It's got to be the what these guys are thinking now towards the back. They're guaranteed points as long as they see the checkered flag, but now it's all about that extra point that they can get. Ben JS does not go for the overtake. Jamie just doesn't have the ERS, and Yaham now can just sitting behind Jamie, sitting behind Harry, to save up his ERS and try to get that overtake. As there we go, Ben JS around the outside of Forza Brendan there into turn 9. The change for the lead has occurred. So we want to keep an eye on this battle for the lead as well, but we also want to keep an eye on this tasty little scrap, because this is for the final spot on the podium. So we've got two very important battles going on here. It looks like Yaham is dropping away slightly, so as it currently stands, it looks like Jamie is currently in course to get that final spot on the podium. But who's going to get the race win here? It is lag. And Jamie picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, this is massive. Jamie now with a penalty. Yaham is licking his chops right now seeing this, and Jamie now ahead of Harry. Yaham has just been thrown a absolute life rod here, as all he has to do is keep it penalty free, stick within 3 seconds of Jamie, and he's on for a podium here. Harry, he has the ERS advantage. This is the thing that Jamie's going to have to contend with, because now Jamie has to use to stay ahead, and Harry doesn't really have to use that much to keep with Jamie. So Jamie's got absolutely nothing. Harry isn't even using anymore, and he is going to close up, and he's going to have enough speed to have a little look down the inside. Very close to it as RJW gets the fastest lap of the race with a 26.3. So RJW currently has that extra point in his bag, in his arsenal right now. As here goes Harry now, going to get through on Jamie with DRS, and the more these two fight, the better it is for the McLaren pairing of Yaham and Tom, because Tom is now back in this scrap, and right now it's looking like it could be a McLaren 3-4. Meanwhile, up ahead, Ben JS, slightly more ERS to his name, but Forza Brendan with the DRS is going to be the pendulum that keeps swinging back and forth between these guys. But Ben JS does get a good run, enough to defend into turn 6. but Forza Brendan needs a good run as Jamie's now down the inside of Harry B. As Harry tries to look for a switchback, tries to get a better run out of the corner, and he does get a better run out of the corner, and isn't even using his ERS. He's just gonna cruise by with DRS, and thank you very much, I'll take P3 back off you. And Jamie's there trying to stick it down the inside, and he's gonna lose a position here to Harry, and maybe even to Yaham as well. As Yaham now around the outside, and Jamie there gets on the curb slightly and has to lose out now to Yaham. So this could be the break that Harry B needs. If Harry wants to try and get this podium, he needs to go, and he needs to go now. Because Yaham is out of DRS range on Harry, and right now Harry needs to keep that gap over 1 second here. Now once again we go to this battle up at the front, as I think Jamie's actually going to think about sending one down the inside. No, he thinks better of it. Smart. But Jamie now going to use DRS. He hasn't got any ERS, but you can see the power, the slipstream that he has. He's going to send it down the inside of Yaham. Yaham knows he hasn't got an overtake or finish ahead of Jamie to get ahead of him, but the more these two battle, the better it is for Harry B, who can try and get away. We're on lap 28 of 29, and here comes Yaham back down the inside of Jamie. Job done. Easy stuff there for Yaham. And that is Lesty, who is around on the exit of turn 1. Now we go on board with this battle. I'm going to stay on board with this for the remaining of this lap. I know Ben JS is having a bit of a lag issue on screen for me, but right now we're going to see who's going to come out on top here. Is it going to be Ben JS? Is it going to be Forza Brendan? 2 DRS zones will decide this race. Who is going to come out on top between these two, as Tom gets through on Jamie there. So Jamie there making a mistake and losing out there to Tom. But now, here we go. DRS, ERS being used for Forza Brendan. He is closing in massively. RJW with a 3-second time penalty. But here goes Forza Brendan around the outside of Ben JS. He's going to back out of it. He's going to look for the better line out the corner. Switchback time. And now, with DRS, this should be a relatively simple overtake here for Forza Brendan. He's going to go to the outside. Ben JS will have to defend the inside. He's going to send it down the inside, try and hold it there as they are side by side going into the final sector on the final lap. It is Ben JS versus Forza Brendan. They're still side by side as they go through turns 10, 11 and 12, and Forza Brendan gets out ahead, but can Ben JS come back at him? He looks for a little switchback, cut back underneath, doesn't want to go for that, as I think the contact would have been made if he kept his nose in there, but it looks like Forza Brendan is going to take the victory out on track ahead of Ben JS. What a fantastic battle at the end of this race, as Harry B is going to cross the line. He's not going to have the gap to stay ahead of Yaham, but he is going to pick up P4 ahead of Tom. Meanwhile, Jamie will come home in 6th. Mays, we're waiting for him to come around, and he's comfortably looking at a P7 here. RJW in a world of his own, also looking at a comfortable P8 with the fastest lap, I believe. In fact, I'm just going to quickly have a little look. Yeah, the fastest lap currently is being held by RJW as he's coming through the final sector. Leslie the Twig, a few mistakes in the final couple of laps, and that has really dropped him far down the order. But Forza Brendan, the Irishman, makes it 2 for 2 here tonight, and what a win on the final lap. Both of these guys, Ben JS and Forza Brendan, left absolutely everything they had out there. Neither of them had any ERS left remaining. They were side by side from turn 9 all the way to turn 12, and an absolutely fantastic battle they treated us to on that final lap. Also, we had a fantastic battle between Yaham, Harry B, Tom, Jamie, and before they crashed out, we had battles with Colin and Dylan in there as well. Of course, those two coming together, and both of them ended up no longer being a part of this race. But driver of the day goes to Harry B. The in-game driver of the day goes to the Aston Martin, but we'll run you through the order now after the podium celebrations, as the Irishman Forza Brendan takes his second win in a row. Is 2 for 2 for the Irishman in the Aston Martin, but he was ran all the way to the line this time by Ben JS, who narrowly misses out on the race win. Comes home in second place though, and that's a fantastic performance from Ben JS. Yaham, with all the issues he had today, he got cursed by Tam at the start of this race, saying he was going to bin it, and Yaham did bin it, but he still came home and picked up a podium. So we'll run you through the order one more time. It is Forza Brendan taking victory ahead of Ben JS, with Yaham in third place, Harry B in fourth, with Tom in fifth. It's Jamie in sixth after just the wrong race strategy. He needed to save VRS when he had the opportunity, and he never did, so he kind of just fell back into sixth. But sixth place is still a good result for Jamie. Mays in seventh, RJW in eighth after colliding with Leslie the Trig towards the end when he was trying to make his way through the field. Leslie in ninth place, and then our non-finishers were I Am Silas, Hooky, Colin R. Mason, Dylan McGivern, Harry Collier, Stacks United, and Andy Campbell, who unfortunately couldn't even start the race. And that is the unfortunate thing for Andy Campbell. He got disqualified off the start because he couldn't take control of his car. But that is going to draw an end to this race, to round number 2. Congratulations to Forza Brendan, Ben JS, and Yaham for getting the podiums. And of course, next week, if my memory serves me correctly, as I'm just quickly going to get the calendar out, next week we will be going to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. A lot of these guys, it'll be, well, for everyone in this lobby, it will be the home race, and who will come out on top there, time will tell. But for this week, guys, I have been Ivan Mike, and if you want to see more racing this week, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we have the Esports Masters League on Wednesday, where we go racing again at Abu Dhabi with Premier 1 and Premier 2, both at 8 PM UK time. So make sure you guys tune in for the Esports Masters League. EML goes racing in Abu Dhabi this week for the final round of the season. And of course, we have the Masters League on Thursday and on Friday, so make sure you guys tune in to all the racing that's going on League Racing TV. I have been Ivan Mike, and until next week, guys, good night, good evening, God bless, in a bit.